Hey, what's going on, everyone? Flying low here. It's a nice day outside, so I figured I'd do a little something to the Mustang. My car's in pretty good shape. The previous owners have taken pretty good care of the vehicle. Cosmetically speaking, interior and exterior, the car doesn't need much. One thing a lot of people don't think about when they're taking or upkeeping, what we'll call an antique, but an older car, is the seat belts. So we clean every other aspect of our car. You know, like me, if you're like me, I clean the seats and I clean the carpet and actually make sure that the car is pretty damn clean, you know. As you can see, I've already kind of gotten started. The car itself is in pretty good shape. If you see my other videos, it's pretty clean. But these seat belts have been in this car, I would suspect, for the whole 20 years. And they were starting to kind of get a life of their own. And like, they didn't stink, but they definitely had a little must to them. So today I'm going to address that. So as you can see, I've already got it started on the driver's side of the vehicle. I put some towels down in the seats to make sure the seats don't get wet. And what I used is some Woolite, the upholstery cleaner right here. And I just sprayed them down real good. Nothing special. You see all the dirt that came, you see that sponge? That was a brand new sponge, and you can see the dirt that came off of it. And the bucket, that brownish color, is all the brown I pulled off that seatbelt. The other seatbelt is damn near dry. It's already been sitting out there for about 30 minutes in this Texas sun. So I'm going to get started on the other side. See, I'm just going to pull this out. As you can see, I have another set of vice grips ready to go. I don't know about you guys, but I got tools on tools with a side of tools. I have the vice grips locked down. The seatbelt is fully extended. Probably the better way to do that is if you have some little clamps to hold it, like the little holding clamps. That'd probably be better. But this serves its purpose. So seatbelt's ready for a nice little bath. The seatbelt is ready to go. I get a nice coat on it. It's a little bit of a messy process, but it's nothing that's going to hurt the car. So I make sure I get the seatbelt very wet with the solution of the upholstery cleaner. I let it sit there for a couple of minutes, and after that I'm just going to go over the seatbelt with my sponge and some water. Pretty much all I'm doing is folding the sponge over itself, and I'm using my other hand. I'm going to have to stop filming it here in a minute, and I just basically run it up and back and forth and actually pull all of that old, all of the soil or dirt or whatever's in that seatbelt into the sponge, and then I just keep rinsing it off and repeating the process until it looks like the seatbelt is pretty clean. So I've just made my first pass, and I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but you can kind of see the dirt that's in the suds, and that was just from sitting there, and then I ran the sponge over it and I pulled out so much dirt and grime. So I think it was a good idea to clean these off. I'm pretty much done now. The whole process takes for this side took about 5 minutes. I just keep wetting the sponge. The first time the sponge is very wet, and that's progressively get drier and drier until the seatbelt doesn't feel soapy anymore to the touch. And the last one, I wring the sponge all the way out, and I run it across it again to try to pull all the moisture, as much moisture as I can. And all I'm going to do is leave the windows open, hang the seatbelt out, and let the sun hit it for about 15 minutes, and it should be done. While the passenger side seatbelt is drying, I'm going to go ahead and finish up with this driver's side. As I'm taking a look at it, it looks really clean. The sun or this camera is not really getting what I'm seeing, but definitely a lot cleaner than it was. For good measure, I'm going to hit it with a little bit of this Febreze Unstoppable. I mean, the seatbelts smell clean, but they still got a little bit of a twang to them, so I'm going to get rid of all of that. All done and ready to go. All in all, the process took maybe about an hour, but it's all done, good to go. Just make sure that you put some towels down over your seat, and you don't want to risk getting any of those chemicals on your seat. I don't think it'll do any harm, but why risk it, especially if your seats are nice. When you dry the seat belts out, make sure they're really dry. I'm not saying they got to be bone dry, but you want as little moisture as possible going back into that seatbelt assembly when it retracts back in there. There are springs in there. I'm not sure if there's any sensors or any kind of electronics in there, so just be careful. I would say anybody with little to no mechanical skills, this should be an easy task, so have fun. Okay, guys and gals, thanks for checking out my video and just taking the time. I hope it helps you out. I hope you're able to get it knocked out with no issues. Anyway, you guys have a good one, and I'll see you in the next video.